So like I said last week, if the Vikings win, I have to start out positive before I have my meltdown. So on that note, let's talk about Meatoberfest at Arby's. Because that's how I celebrated. I went for Meatoberfest. It's just delicious. It's not quite Cocoa Crisp M&Ms, but it's not as disappointing as the not turning the milk green ghosts of Halloween Captain Crunch. So I did miss part of the game though, because my girlfriend wanted me to go with her kids to see the Addams Family in the middle of the day on Sunday, and I had to go with her because, you know, she's turning 40 on October 24th, so I kind of have to be nice. Also, I'm a big wimp, just a coward, do whatever any woman in my life says, whether I'm still married to them or not. Cousins played with authority. Cousins is like a mirror who reflects whatever the play calling is. If they call plays like they're scared, Cousins plays scared. If they call aggressive plays, Cousins tends to be more aggressive. It kind of shows what a huge mistake it was to start the season calling plays the way they did, with basically trying to take the game completely out of Cousins' hands, and that led to Cousins basically crapping his pants every chance he got. So you've got your $28 million quarterback who you basically try to take the game completely out of his hands. And now he just craps his pants maybe every other game, which is good. That means every other game you get a good performance. This past week we got a good one. The key is kind of being aggressive on first and second down, not waiting till third down to have Cousins drop straight back and get sacked automatically. I think all the touchdowns came on first or second down. You got to take it to the defense. You call your plays based on what the defense is going to be least expecting and least likely to be able to stop. If they're geared up to stop the run, if they're a great run defense like the Eagles, maybe you throw. Wow, what a concept. Cousins did miss a couple throws though. There was that easy touchdown to Thielen that Cousins just, again, it was a third down pass and he throws just a wounded duck. If they maybe run that on first or second down, maybe Cousins' pants aren't as full, and so he's able to throw it flatter with more authority, and it's a touchdown. Eventually you're going to have to be able to make those big plays on third down. And that's where we run into trouble. We won't think about that this week. We're just going to enjoy this. But so Kirk Cousins gives them this huge lead, 24-3, and gee, what happened?
We have ourselves a game now.
Well, first of all, when the Vikings took that 24-3 lead, were you thinking, A, Super Bowl, here we come, B, I wonder if they can keep this up, or C, how are they going to screw this up? If you thought C, you are a rational Vikings fan. So what led to that Vikings collapse? Well, you know, part of it, of course, was Diggs letting a ball go off his face mask for an interception, not looking to catch into his hands on 1st and 30. But really, it was your great defense. There's no NFL rule that says, like, a defense has to just take, like, 2 drives off a game, just give the opposing team, like, 2 easy touchdowns a game. There's no rule. There's no rule that says, oh, you got a big lead, your defense has to just lay down and let them score. I don't understand this. I mean, I do understand it. The defense isn't that good. You watch other defenses, the Patriots, Brady could just sit taking a dump the whole game and they'll still find a way to win because of their defense. Saints have Gumby at quarterback. See what Gumby can do today. They're winning. They're not scoring any points. It's their defense. And everybody's talking about Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins will hold this team back. You know, they will not win a Super Bowl with him. But if this Vikings defense was really as good as they say it is, they could win a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl. He couldn't even throw the football against the top scoring team in the league, the Panthers, because the Broncos defense shut him down. It's not all Kirk Cousins. The main reason the Vikings will not win the Super Bowl is their defense, who gave up 38 points to the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. The defense. Who missed a tackle on third down?
Out of the backfield, Clemens.
Anthony Barr, who wasn't on the field on a key 3rd and 10.
Xavier Rhodes on the bench, not out there on 3rd down and 10. And Foles able to get away and throw. Pass is caught.
Xavier Rhodes. It's the defense that is the main thing that people should be talking about. Kirk Cousins gives them a 3-touchdown lead. The defense almost gave this game away. I kind of had a meltdown even though the Vikings won. But let's just enjoy this. This is probably going to be the high point of the season. Just all the points they scored and They beat a pretty good team and all that. So let's enjoy it. Have some Cocoa Crisp M&Ms or some more Meatoberfest or maybe some Count Chocula. I got some of that. I can't wait to eat that. Oh, so good, chocolatey. But there's some hope. 10-6. That seems like a reasonable call. They could go 9-7. They could go 11-5 if things go right. We'll see. But at least there's reason to keep watching this year. So I have a Pantload of Awards to give out this week. Best play by someone who obviously watches the Chili Report. That's going to Eric Kendricks. Actually, he made 2 plays that suggest he's watching the Chili Report. One was him knocking down a pass. I called out actually Daniil Hunter for not raising his arms a couple weeks ago. When the quarterback's right in front of you and he's about to throw it, you put your arms up. Kendricks knocked down a pass and Xavier Rhodes gave any effort, he would have intercepted it. But the main one was, I called out Kendricks last week for not trying to strip a guy. Other defenses go to force that fumble, whereas the Vikings, like Eric Kendricks, has a chance to knock the ball out and doesn't even try. So this week, Kendricks stripped a guy who had made a reception that was a big turnover. That loved Kendricks. The Denny Green Award for having the best offense in NFL history take a knee at the end of regulation in the 1998 NFC Championship Game Award for the stupidest coaching decision. That goes to Doug Pedersen, who there were like 19 seconds left, I think, and the Eagles had just got a turnover in Vikings territory. They're in field goal range. Kick a field goal, make it 24-13, I think it would have been. And he ran a fake field goal. You would have had to score a touchdown on that play for it to matter because there's so little time left. If you don't get a touchdown, you're just going to end up kicking a field goal. So what do you have to gain by that? And you have the momentum, so just put the points on the board, go in, you get the ball, start the second half, you go down and score a touchdown, which they did. And you make it really close, and you put the pressure on the Vikings by boom, fake field goal. The Kirk Cousins sprinting toward the end zone on 3rd and 21 against the Jets last year award for a play that miraculously didn't result in a massive catastrophe. That was this reverse where Thielen got it, and then he tossed it to Diggs, and then Diggs was carrying the ball like it was a freaking loaf of bread and swinging it around there like Richard Simmons at a Sweat to the Oldies reunion. I don't know how that play didn't just blow up and how he didn't lose control of that ball and how it wasn't a turnover and that didn't end up turning the tide of the game, but it didn't, and so we can be thankful for that. Phil Simms Award for announcer so clueless he gives credit to someone who had zero impact on a play. That was that color commentator who 2 guys made a tackle, neither of them were Rhodes, and he gives all the credit to Rhodes.
Xavier Rhodes is a corner, and look who gets involved quickly on this play. See, as he bends it back, there's Kendricks, there's Rhodes.
Who came there and I think may have made contact 2 seconds after the tackle. The Xavier Rhodes Award for a guy who could easily cover his guy if he gave any effort, but instead just holds the guy. That was this guy for the Eagles. Don't know his name, not going to look it up, but that was a 3rd down where Cousins got stopped short. The Eagles guy was holding Thielen for no real reason, and Vikings get a 1st down.
Gets a hand, and he's got both hands grabbing and another hand holding all the way downfield, and he didn't need to.
Xavier Rhodes would be proud.
I think we're going to get against Minnesota what they got against Rasul Douglas of Philadelphia on the last possession.
Holding, defense, number 29. 5 yards will be added to the end of the run. Automatic, 1st down.
The Christian Ponder Award for a terrible decision by a quarterback, that goes to Carson Wentz, who there was a 3rd and 2. I can't remember when it was, but there was a guy being quote-unquote covered by Rhodes who was wide open. He didn't throw it to him. He threw to a different guy. It was incomplete. Then on the next play, 4th and 2, Eagles go for it. Again, Wentz throws it to a guy covered by someone other than Rhodes, covered by Mike Hughes. Incomplete. Just a bizarre, really stupid decision-making by Carson Wentz there. The Brad Childress Award for the worst play call in history. A couple contenders here. There was the shovel pass to Irv Smith in the red zone that just what are you doing? Yeah, he's faster than Kyle Rudolph. It wasn't going to work. But of course, the winner is, of course, the obligatory screen to Rudolph. The 5th time in 6 games they run this screen to Rudolph, and got I think 4 yards this time. Okay, a lot of work for 4 yards. The Summer of George Offense Award. This is callback to that previous award. The screen pass to Rudolph. That slow screen. What's the next play? Quick pass to Diggs, Mr. Speed. Defense is not prepared. They can't handle that speed. That is why they do that pass to Rudolph, that screen pass every week. Puts the defense to sleep. Good play. The Summer of George Defense Award. This is going to the Eagles. So they're stealing it from the Vikings playbook. The Vikings, like Xavier Rhodes, does that Summer of George defense. At the end of the first half, the Eagles had given so little resistance to the Vikings that the Vikings just started to fall apart. You know, Diggs, the interception off his face. Diggs dropping the pass on 1st and 30. And there was one point where Dalvin Cook just literally just fell over. Boom. So what happened was the Eagles started actually playing defense early in the second half, and that woke the Vikings up, and then they started scoring again. The My Ex-Wife at one point Being Attractive award for something I think I hallucinated, that goes to Mike Zimmer, who had a successful challenge in the first quarter, I think.
After reviewing the play, when the runner's knee was down, the ball was at the 5-yard line, it will be a first down.
Excellent challenge.
The My Ex-Wife Not Being the Devil award for something I know I hallucinated. That was that play where Thielen got 1 foot down on that wounded duck from Cousins, and like the announcer's like, "Oh, you got to challenge that." And it's like he only got 1 foot in, dummy. What's shocking, what I know I must have hallucinated, is that Zimmer didn't challenge it. I know deep down he did. I just hallucinated that he didn't. The Laquon Treadwell award for doing 2 things wrong in the same play. That goes to my buddy Everson Griffin, who. He jumped off sides on a play, and then he got back before the snap, rushed Carson Wentz, wrapped him up, but didn't take him down. Wentz escaped. The Everson Griffin Award for not keeping contain.
Everson Griffin get run over?
That was some Eagles player who got called out, defensive end, I think, for the Eagles. Don't know his name, not going to look it up. He didn't keep contain, and I think it was like 52 for the Eagles. The guy who called out Cousins also didn't kind of keep contain on that play.
And out here on the perimeter was the problem, because Josh Sweat, number 94, the defensive end, he doesn't keep contained.
Foge Fazio Award for the softest zone defense ever. That was some play, I don't remember what it was, but it was like Alshon Jeffrey was like more wide open than ever. And I don't know if they were ahead by enough to call it a prevent defense, but if it was the M.O.A.P, the mother of all prevents. The mother of all prevents.
A glimmer of hope left for the Eagles. There's Ertz all alone in the middle of the field.
It was insane how soft that zone was. The Mike Remmers Award for just not blocking a guy.
Oh, you have a creative mind. Tell me what Mike Remmers is doing right here.
Let me watch.
That goes to Elfline. Great effort. Best use of a word that hasn't been popular since the 1930s. That was our color commentator guy.
First catch of the year, Kenny. Look at this. Getting both of the Tootsies down.
And a hoofer by the name of Buck Wing was getting ready to shake his Tootsies.
Tootsies. That's I don't think anybody's called feet Tootsies since Curly and Disorder in the Court.
He's asking you if you swear.
No, but I know all the words.
Tootsies. Maybe I'll use that in future videos. I'm talking about Treadwell's feet after he drops some passes. The Weekend at Bernie's lookalike, that goes to Ziggy Wolf. The Scott Farkas lookalike. That goes to Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, just something about him I don't like. I think he's probably like a really nice guy. I hear it sounds like he's a really nice guy, a nice corn-fed Dakota boy. But it just kind of bugs me. Red hair, maybe, the beard, maybe it reminds me of myself. The Josh Allen impression of the week, that goes to
Anthony Barr wants no part of Josh Allen.
Alexander Madison, whatever his name is, the Vikings running back. Hurdling again. The Liberace Award for a guy who's weirdly obsessed with the tall guy who has tattoos. That's going to that color commentator again. I don't know his name, not gonna look it up, but
Hey, is that Kyle Rudolph?
he's got this Kyle Rudolph fetish. Like every week it's like, oh, let's get it to Rudolph. It's Rudolph time. And like Vikings got near the goal line in second half.
And I know in these situations you don't think about just getting a guy a touchdown. But if they throw the ball here, don't be surprised if they try and get it to 82 Rudolph.
But it's like, oh, you gotta get it to Rudolph. They're gonna get it to Rudolph in this play. Guaranteed they're gonna throw it to Rudolph. Guess what? They didn't. And they scored 38 points. They would have scored 48 if not for a couple of missed throws. So I don't think you need to involve Rudolph, except if you're trying to put the defense to sleep. So anyway, Lions at the Lions should be a cakewalk, but we know it's never as easy as it should be. Right? Nice jean jacket, Kirk. Like, what is with this guy? He's just so weird. He's just a strange human being. Jean jacket. It's like he's got like sticks logo on the back of it probably. He's kind of like a sticks quarterback, you know, like zero artistic integrity, but somehow brings in millions of dollars.